eventually we'll just start like introducing, like taking names and stuff
Taking names.
of each other. And
Okay, huh,
yeah,
okay.
introductions won't be necessary.
But what were we supposed to talk about?
Modern dating?
Yeah, what is your recent experience with dating?
Yeah, I think I feel like the thing that has stood out the most for me in these past few like years has been that there's so much variety now
Yeah.
with everything. There's online dating, and then there's so many people out and about looking for like love and whatnot. So usme I feel like people have lost sort of touch with the authenticity of love and the sanctity and the all the values of a romantic relationship.
Yeah, like I feel like everything is just available at a swipe.
Yeah.
Like even for myself, like for example, I'm talking to people, especially with dating apps, they're so fucking toxic. Like I'll be talking to somebody, but I cannot actually take the time to get to know them because I know there's like a million other options available.
Yeah.
So my first instinct is like, even rather than like vetting them out, is like figuring out if this is somebody I'm willing to meet or not.
Yeah.
Because I cannot register them as a real person, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Because we have so many options that we just don't want. When we say hello to somebody, we expect it to click instantly.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't, we're like, okay, this is too trivial.
Which is really hard to really like click
You
virtually.
can't,
You know what I
not
mean?
just that, it's not supposed to click, I feel like. With someone that you're meant to be with, and someone who's a soul connection, I feel like you won't feel the sparks and the tingles and all of that in the first like meeting.
Really?
I don't think so. You're not supposed to. It's supposed to feel calm, and it's supposed to feel,
Oh, you're right.
this is right, and this is making me feel peaceful and at ease.
But I feel like the tingles really, for me, like a starting point of it is like attraction. But then again, like even faces do change once you get to know people.
Yeah, for me, tingles, if they come later on in the relationship, I feel like that's much better. It's more sustainable. It's supposed to be that way. Instead of meeting people and having tingly feelings for all of them.
Like I feel like then you probably burn out, because I've had that before, and I've had those experiences where somebody feels so perfect in the beginning.
Yeah.
And you just jump into bed or like whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it blows up in your face kind of eventually 3 months down the line.
Exactly. And essentially, we get all these like tingly feelings for people who are extremely attractive.
Yeah. Or just like charming.
Or charming.
Or know how to like work the room basically.
And
you know
that's
what I mean?
it, by
and
the way.
that's not sustainable.
Exactly, and we don't see beyond that,
Yeah.
essentially, and I think that's stupid.
I feel like we're easily charmed.
Not me anymore.
I don't know. If you're loud and obnoxious and like attractive, I get like kind of wooed by it for a while.
Do you? Not for me. If you're the quieter person, if you're someone who stays in the background, if you're more assured about yourself and you can see it in your stature and the way you stand, I feel like that's more attractive to
Not
me.
necessarily with other people. With other people, I don't give a fuck if you're quiet or not. I'm talking about with me. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like someone who like darts across the room,
Yeah.
sees you, their
Yeah.
attention is on you,
Yeah.
they're like trying with you, and like
Yeah,
you
but
know.
not like in your face. Because for me, that's also a red flag.
I don't know. It depends
Because-
on like what sort of face it is.
No, for me, it'll be like, okay, this person probably does this to everybody they see.
Yeah, 100%. But
So
like
I wouldn't trust that energy.
I have that now, but
Yeah.
I feel like maybe a year ago,
Yeah.
I would have been in that, because it happened a year ago. I
Yeah.
went to Hunza
Yeah,
and something happened and I got wooed.
yeah.
You know what
So
I
for me,
mean?
this is like love bombing energy.
Yeah,
and I
now-
don't like it.
That's the thing, you know. I've been
Yeah.
seeing people these days, and like they've been really trying, and I literally to their face went like, "This feels love bombing. Like, stop love bombing me." And they're like,
Yeah.
"What the fuck is wrong with you? You got trust issues." I'm like, "No, it's too soon."
Yeah. जो आज वो तुम अपनी ऑडियो बुक सुना रही थी,
Yeah.
and उसमें भी जब वो the girl said that whatever happened, and he was
Yeah.
like, I love you,
That's
and I
Julia
want to
Fox
marry you.
Evo down the drain. It's so good.
Yeah, but for me, that story, it was like ringing bells left, right, and center. I was like, that's not okay. And this guy turns out to be a dick.
Has
You
it
know?
ever been you though? Have you ever been in
Yeah.
that place? Yeah.
100, like not, yeah, a lot of times actually. Yeah.
I feel like if you're someone who's actually dating, because I feel like लोगों की जो है ना dating history काफी अलग-अलग होती है.
Uh-huh.
There's people who have like only been with 3 people
Yeah.
and like, you know, been like year-long relationships with them.
Yeah.
I feel like when I'm talking about dating is like, A, you're probably on dating apps.
Yeah.
B, you're actually like meeting strangers for coffee and all that stuff. You know what I mean?
I mean, I do that now, but before, you know, जितना जब ये dating apps वाला scene नहीं था, we would, in my 20s, like, and in my teens through my 20s, we would meet people organically. We would meet people outside. We would meet people at work. We would meet people doing like social things.
Yeah.
This like swipe culture is very new, and it's not okay. It feels off. It feels unnatural. It's just yeah. And back then, वो proper एक तरीके से लोग आपको approach करते थे, you know, and you'd be talking for a week and you'd know you're in a relationship. There was no situationship. There was no talking stages. There was none of this bullshit that there is these days.
I feel like one thing that like stuck out to me when you were saying that was that I realized I don't think I've had anything sustainable with anyone I've met like through a dating app. Anyone I've had something sustainable with is somebody I've met organically.
Same.
Like through like set or like I've been to some different city or like I bumped into them at a party or like friend's friend or like ex's friend.
I mean, I've had one good long-term relationship.
Off of that's good. That gives me some hope.
This one, the recent one.
Yeah.
It's the only one that I've had. Baki to sare haan, they were not sustainable, great situations.
Utha lo, we can pause this.
No, it's okay.
Utha
वो
lo.
बना हुआ है.
Fine.
Yeah.
Yes, boys.
So yeah, I think पहले organically ज़्यादा होता था and people really valued relationships. So which is why when you would like somebody and you'd start talking to them, you knew that you were in a relationship. There was no guesswork.
I feel like access bitna ho gaya na, like so easily accessible.
But why? Why do you think that is?
I feel like it's a lot to do with just the way the internet is these days.
Okay, let me tell you something. Even if there was just like, let's say, dating sites, right? But why are we not holding the same like standards, the same values? Why don't we have the same system? You're saying because it's too fast?
I feel like literally the way I see it is like you have a catalog of men or women in your phone to choose from.
Yeah.
Like it kind of moralizes or values people in a way. Like I know this for myself. Like, and I'm quite a like emotional person or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But like when I see somebody on a dating site, my mind does not register them as an actual person. You know, maybe after I met them a few times and we managed to like click, which rarely ever happens.
Yeah.
Like fine, but otherwise they're just like a profile.
I know what you mean. Same.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I get that.
Which is why I was so happy when I bumped into that person that we know on Bumble, and I was like, oh my god, okay, somebody I know.
Yeah, I know.
And like, I didn't even like that person, but just because like I see them as an actual entity rather than a profile, like they get the upper hand.
Honestly, I'd much rather swipe right on someone I've known or seen around. 100%.
But again, with value, I feel like also I don't know. I feel like it's a lot to do with the internet. Like you have soft porn everywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like you are constantly texting. Like communication is not that sacred anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like what's up, then rather than like a handwritten letter of how your month has been. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because like back in the day when the man would leave the house and they would say like talk to you later, the journey could be anything between days and months and weeks, and you'd never know when they would come back. And there was some kind of like, I don't know, some kind of sanctity to that. And those relationships were more like, I guess, cherished in a way.
But like, think about it this way as well. Like, you know, I'm thinking about it in a sense of like, oh my god, all of that is so romantic.
Yeah.
But we're the sort of people like, oh my god, okay, red flag if he fucking disappears for like too long, and like green flag is if he's constantly around. But is that actually natural until like you're like, you know, living together? You know what I mean?
But there are ways around it. See, like if, for example, if you're going on a long ass hiking trek or a camping trip, and you won't have any phone signal or whatever, and you can't be in touch, you tell your partner that, and you can then disappear and do whatever the hell you want to. I just feel like you don't have to stay connected 24/7, but I also don't think that it's okay to ghost.
But I feel like it is especially talking about medieval times. You know what I mean? Or Victorian times. I feel like why marriage was so much more quicker and common, and like there was like a straight route to it, was because everything was like actual effort. Talking to people was an effort. Getting your words across was effort. You know what I mean? And it was stretched out over longer periods of time, so it was more sacred as well, and it meant more. Therefore, things probably moved faster as well. But
no, also because everybody had the same agenda. Everybody was looking for marriage and long-term partnerships and stability.
But that's the only way they could actually have access to each other
Exactly.
as well. I feel like now it's so easy to have access to each other that nobody actually wants to like invest or
like
commit.
if men were of the mindset that they want to settle down and commit, and if women were also on the same page, I feel like it would be a lot easier. But there's a lot of, and I don't mean this in a sexist way at all, but I feel like there's a lot of like, वो क्या होती है, the deception in men these days when it comes to dating. They're not very either honest or not genuine in their connections, even in their friendships.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's what I was thinking. I was like, all I see these men doing is goofing around.
Exactly.
And either it's that, or they're very serious. They just want to work. You know, like you cannot have fun with them. Basically, they'll make sense.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know.
Yeah. See, this is also like if you're connecting it to medieval times, men used to go to war and still have whole ass families at home, and they weren't like, we have to work. They didn't give such stupid excuses.
But the thing is, I feel like things were completely different then, because like, I mean, you know, I was on the same page, but this conversation has kind of opened me up to like, I don't feel like the expectations were the same as well. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think there's a lot of, I'm sure it's going on, but also I feel like, you know, if I'm in a field and my day revolves around like, okay, the house has to be warm, there needs to be wood, you know, the cows need to be fed, my brain is probably going to be functioning like in a different way as well. You know what I mean? So the expectation isn't going to be based off of my emotional intelligence. I feel like even relationships were more dependent on survival. Don't you think so?
Yeah, I do. I 100% believe that.
That's something I've never thought about before.
But also देखो अब यहाँ पे ना थोड़ा सा political और economy की भी बात आती है. I feel like back then you could survive a whole year on like your pension or like a soldier's salary, you know. Ab hame, I feel like yes, we do have to work twice and thrice as hard to sustain ourselves. So I guess people do have to put in a lot of extra work to do that, which is why there's so much of this, oh, I'm working and I can't date you energy.
Oh my god, I hate that energy.
I also hate it because honestly, like as a man, you should be able to do all of it.
And I feel like if you are not so damaged that like love doesn't stress you out, like I feel like when I have a loving partner, like someone who motivates me, someone who like compliments me, someone who makes me feel good about myself, it usually motivates me to do more. I'm usually not motivated to do anything because I'm like, okay, I am good, I'm having fun. But like when I'm with a partner who is like, I don't know, kind of puts me on a pedestal. Like I get on that pedestal as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I'm the kind of person I like to put my partner on that pedestal as well. Like I want to cheer them on. I want to be supportive. I want to be there for them. So, and I expect the same in return.
But I feel like and this is very common in men, where like, I don't see, for a while it does, but I don't know if it's something that their partner is doing wrong. But like there comes a point where like love feeding them kind of starts depleting them. I don't get it. But Do you
I
get
feel
what I'm
like
trying to say?
I do, and I know what this is. I feel like unhealed people, when they start sort of experiencing the full intensity of their partner's emotions and their own, they can't handle it. They're not able to like sort of deal with it. It's too much for them because maybe they had parents who were avoidants, maybe they had parents who were not expressive, maybe they had parents who were distant. And for these people, it's a lot harder to express and to process those feelings, which is why they start sort of like backing up a little bit, you know when and also, and this is, I don't like to say this out loud because it's sometimes true, also maybe they're just not that into you. You could be like obsessing over them, and maybe later they do realize that they're not like that fascinated or
God.
fond of you.
I don't even like to think of that.
Me neither. I don't think that people can fake that much. And
I feel like the thing is right because when I'm not into somebody, I make it quite obvious.
yeah,
You know
but
what I mean?
that's feminine energy. That's different. We're very transparent with our we don't deceive people.
Yeah.
It's not easy for us to deceive. It's easier for men to deceive. And they, like my guy best friend, he said something to me the other day. I was like, oh, I'm talking to my ex about flana thing, and but he never brought up like an emotional sort of conversation. And my guy best friend goes like, as men, we can do that very easily. We can switch off the emotions and just focus on the professional like side of things. And I was like, what? Like, I'm
How?
talking to my ex about all of this work, but I still like feel things for him,
Yeah, yeah.
How is it that he can switch it off? But he was like, we can. So they have this, I don't know, they're able to compartmentalize better than us. And I think we are better at expressing things, they are better at like suppressing things, which is why it doesn't work.
I don't even know. I don't get it. I feel like
Minus karenge hum.
first thing is like, how can you cut off your emotionality from anything you're doing? Because even like making money is gonna make me feel some sort of way, basically. You know what I mean? Even making money has a reason behind it. It's not like for the act of making money. I'm not gonna be making money for like, oh my god, okay, that's what I need to do, and like social standing in the world and like provider. You know what I mean? So I feel like that's a big thing as well. Where like with masculine energy, especially these days, I feel like there's a lot. I feel like times are different now. Like men aren't going to wars. You know what I mean? There's less of a purpose, but there's still this like economical like expectation that you have to live by. You know what I mean? And like most of these men are not doing something they're actually into. They're actually just making money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and it's
Which
not
is
even
why
on
it's
their
harder
thoughts.
for them to concentrate on a partner.
Yeah.
Because they're already doing something that's depleting them.
Yeah, like I feel like there's so much disconnect actually, just to like fulfill a quota basically.
Yeah.
And that's how a lot of people actually live their lives. It's like, I guess it's practical, but it's not a way I would want to live.
Yeah. Because listen, because आजकल लोग ज़्यादा practical living पे ही believe करते हैं. They're not all about.
Like, why do you think people like call us stupid?
Who?
Like generally, like there is like
Yeah.
I mean, people would say like softness is stupid.
Yes, because they
Hopefulness is
see it as a weakness.
Yeah, romanticism is stupid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's all because it's not industrialized. These aren't things you can put like a fucking like money tag on.
Not just that, I feel like we're able to process our emotions and we're able to deal with our baggage and our trauma and our wounds a certain way, and we like and we like sort of always have this sort of optimism about us to things. And I think because men are not generally like that or usually like that, they see us as weak.
Yeah.
Because they can't relate with it. They can't relate with the fact that, oh my god, if you've been through enough heartbreak, how are you still like looking to settle down? How do you know, why do you still believe in love? I don't get
Because
it.
like, why not?
Yeah, but they don't think like that. They think, oh, like I've had my heart broken twice and I will never love again. It's just because they're really like not. I hate to say this, but they're very weak.
What do you think is your biggest weakness?
Mine? With what?
With anything. just
generally in
generally.
life?
What is your current biggest weakness?
At this point, nothing.
I think mine has always been like being strategic. I feel like that's something I really lack. I feel like I'm very go with the wind, which I don't mind, but I feel like if I was more strategic, I would have a lot more control in my life. But I mean, even people who have control in their life don't really have control in their life. You know what I mean?
Yeah. अच्छा उसमें पूछ रही थी हाँ मेरी भी सारी weaknesses हैं currently. I don't really like the fact that I जो कल हम बात कर रहे थे like I have a lot of self doubt these days.
Yeah.
And I'm not at my oh my god happy go lucky sort of like energy.
But like even that day, you know what I feel like? It's so like important to always like pat yourself on the back as well, because like again framing self-doubt as something that's actually like, you know, something affirmed about you, like, you know, you could rather be expressing like, oh my god, like I'm not feeling attractive these days, you know what I mean? Or I'm not feeling like productive these days, or I'm not feeling like held these days, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
But it's more so like just like, okay, it's an illusion of lack rather than actual lack.
Yeah, because my self-doubt is basically a form of hopelessness.
Yeah, when there is always hope in the world.
Yeah, and I actually don't like subconsciously, I feel like I really don't believe that. I feel like if I wanted to, I could make anything happen.
Yeah, literally.
So
Because
yeah.
it's, like, you know, I feel like it's just 50-50. The hopelessness exists just as much as the hopefulness. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just how the hopefulness exists just as much as the hopelessness. You know what I mean? It's just simply where you're choosing to lean on.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's not like, okay, taking like a decision like one day, okay, I am going to be hopeful. And then you
It's
wait for
not
a
like
chance to
that.
come about.
No.
You have to stay on that side for that wind to like brush against
Yeah.
you once in a while. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Also, I feel like I'm really enjoying the transition that I'm going through.
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying the different like sort of. It's normally if I was in this state, I would be spiraling. I'd be like losing control of over myself, over autonomy, you know. But at this point, I feel very much in control of my thoughts and my actions and everything that I'm like putting out in the universe. Even though I feel hopeless. It's
Because what needs to be controlled by you is your reaction to things,
Exactly.
nothing else.
Exactly. And I'm happy with where I am. Honestly, like, I think this is exactly what I've been wanting. Like, in all of my life, after all of my breakups, I've like sort of spiraled and I've sort of like just not been good, like, ever in a good headspace. This time around, I feel like I'm doing a lot. This is different for me, which is why it feels different, because I've never really sat down with my feelings for this long.
I feel like that was like, I feel like my last breakup was so weird because it was with like, it was in Hunza, so everything just over there feels like a Disney movie, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, I don't know what I even processed in that or how it even went about.
Yeah.
But like this time, like, you know, I was with somebody for like a long ass time, it was complicated. But after it ended, like, yeah, there was like, there is, but once again, you know, it wasn't actual doubt. It was like, doubt wasn't coming up as like affirmed things like, oh, you're this, you're that, you lack this, you lack that.
Yeah.
It was more so, okay, you just feel down right now, you're wounded right now, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's a good place to be, I feel like, where nothing can really shake you as much.
Yeah.
But it does shake you.
Everything shakes me.
Yeah, I like to shake.
Yeah.
It does.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like that was good enough.
No, I think this is good.
Yeah.
Under the 30-minute mark.